Okay, good morning everybody, and welcome to the Bookmap webinar today with Kapil and Rajendran. And this is going to be a presentation from Rajendran. He's a trader, and this is going to be who we're very pleased to have him for this presentation. He'll be going over Bookmap for Indian traders with the BankNifty and the Nifty markets. And I need to go through disclosures, and then we'll get into the introductions, and then see what Kapil has to say. Rajendran has to say here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so Kapil, I would be pleased if you could take the presentation from here and introduce Rajendran.
Thank you so much, Bruce, and good morning, everybody. And thanks so much for joining us here today for this live session. Before I hand over to Rajendran, a little something about him. So most of you already know him well already. But I'm sure there will be still some gaps which I shall attempt to fill today. Rajendran started out as a telecom engineer and then soon turned into a full-time derivative trader. He mostly trades the Nifty, BankNifty, USD INR, and highly liquid stock derivatives. He has been trading the markets himself since 2006, and for that has been using market profile and order flow for more than a decade. He has designed and published more than 100 open source trading systems on various trading tools. He strongly believes that market understanding and robust trading frameworks are the key to trading success. He has been writing about markets, trading system designs, market sentiments, trading softwares, and various trading nuances.
Kapil, you I think are muted there for yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. I don't know how it got muted. Anyway, I'll just repeat what I just said. He's been writing about markets, trading system design, market sentiment, trading softwares, and various trading nuances since 2007. He's the author, as you may be aware of, at marketcalls.in, and is the co-creator now of AlgoMojo, which is an algorithmic trading platform for do-it-yourself traders. This is just a very simplified gist of what all he has been doing and keeps doing even now. Over the years, I've personally seen Rajendran grow both individually and professionally. He has helped so many traders in their trading journey and continues to do so. We are, in fact, very fortunate today to have him here as part of our team to help traders once again. Today, Rajendran will cover the basics of order flow first, followed by sweeps and absorption indicators, followed by on the Bookmap platform for identifying trades in Nifty and BankNifty. So over to you, Rajendran, to take it forward from here.
Thank you, Kapil, and thank you, Bruce and Kapil, for the wonderful introduction. So I hope I'm audible.
Yep, so you're good.
All right, great.
Yes, you're good, Rajendran. Yeah, clear.
Yep. So what I'm trying to attempt to talk in today's session is like I'm going to touch base on market microstructure and how Bookmap is very much connected to that.
I'm sorry, Rajendran. Can you share your screen in Discord? I'm not seeing a screen right now for you. It says stream is paused. There you go. There you go.
Give me a sec. Oh, is it? Oh, I'll share my. Restart the streaming.
Yes. Start streaming again, and then take the presentation on top.
How about now? My screen should be visible now.
Yes, that looks good.
All right, great. So, hello everyone. So what I'm trying to do here is like I'm trying to give some gist about what market microstructure is all about and how very much Bookmap is connected to that. One of the key reasons why I had become a Bookmap user. Otherwise, I'm a more of a market profile and order flow user. I've been using this for more than a decade now, and Bookmap is something new to me. I've been experimenting with Bookmap and then getting used to the nuances of Bookmap. It's been quite some time. Me and Bruce got introduced, and a very impressive platform what Bruce and their team had built. So in today's agenda, what I'm going to discuss is I'm going to look into the very fundamental things of what moves the markets and how Bookmap can be useful for Indian traders. I'm going to talk mostly from the Indian narrative and how it is different from order flow tools, which is already available there in the markets. We call it as a footprint charts. And from a beginner point of view, how a beginner can identify a potential trade on Bookmap. We're going to look into some of the very interesting concepts like order flow sweeps and the sweep indicators and also the absorption indicator. We're going to look through what does an absorption means and what does the sweep means. And some of the instruments like Nifty, BankNifty, and Reliance, or if possible, we'll try to look into more lively examples, how we can apply it in a real time. So you might have seen this picture. If you haven't seen this picture, let me tell you what this picture is all about. This is a picture, it's a very famous picture taken by James Webb Telescope. Right, James Webb Telescope, the picture shows the Carina Nebula. It shows how the stars are forming. And let me tell you, this picture is taken from 7,500 light years away from that. It's a crystal clear picture. Now, what it shows is that it shows very detailed microscopic information about how the stars are forming. Now, I'll tell you how Bookmap is connected. Bookmap is also exactly doing the same thing. Now, what Bookmap does is it shows a visualization of traders, how traders are behaving in the markets, and it gives a very microscopic details about the market structure. Same like the James Webb Telescope. And it helps traders to build the context in real time so that one can take very, very short-term trading decisions. So most likely Bookmap, if you are very well aware or if you are already using it, Bookmap is a professional tool built for scalpers and intraday traders. So usually I prefer to use Bookmap to understand the interaction, how the interaction is happening between the buyers and sellers. When the market starts, the buyers and sellers come and collide among each other, and there is a great fight happening between the buyers and sellers. So using Bookmap, one can understand the markets, understand the traders' behavior, and also the market structure better. It's very well connected to the auction market theory. Probably if you are one of the fan of auction market theory, I'm a great fan of auction market theory. So for me, Bookmap is a very interesting tool to look into that. So this is how the Bookmap looks like. So it shows a lot of details. Bookmap shows visualization of orders typically. At a very fundamental level, it shows how the market is moving, right? How the market orders are behaving in the markets, how liquidity is getting supplied in the markets, or how where limit orders are getting positioned in the markets, where big traders are coming in, where small traders are coming in. And it provides a lot of nuances about trading at a very, very microscopic level, similar to James Webb Telescope. Let me give you a brief idea about market microstructure. If in case you might hear the term very much new, maybe market microstructure is not new if you are a Bookmap user. So it gives you the basic idea about how the exchange works. Now, let me tell you, a lot more traders have a very weird understanding about how the market works. Most of the people, they have weird assumptions. But in Bookmap, you don't have that kind of assumptions. It's everything is like you're going to see it visually. And it gives a basic structure about how the market works, how the market participants are behaving, how the trade transactions are happening, how the big transactions are happening. Sometimes even how the stocks are getting hunted. Sometimes how the iceberg orders are coming into the markets, like the big traders, institutional orders. And you can see that how the order matching is happening in a real time. So Bookmap gives you a realistic visualization over here. So basically, you can use this tool to study primarily about traders' behavior, because 80% of the time we're gonna deal with traders. And yes, there are times sometimes even big traders, long time frame traders, investors, institutional investors, they also dominate in the markets, but they are relatively in terms of time, they're not we are not going to hit them every now and then. Most of the time, we're going to deal with traders. So Bookmap gives that beautiful visualization on that. So the screen, what you're seeing is an kind of how the orders goes to the exchange and how the order book matching happens and how the data is collected. So typically, it gives a basic idea about the market mechanics. So same thing can be visualized from the exchange. So market mechanics shows how exchange matches the orders, and the final outcome is what? The order flow, how the orders are flowing into the markets and how the markets are getting moved by the flow of orders. At any given time, right, the flood of orders will keep on coming into the exchange. Limit orders, market orders. So the exchange job is to match the buyers and sellers. So how it get matched? Let's look in a very detailed fashion. What moves the market, if you ask me, at a fundamental level? Who is looking for an immediate fill of the orders? Let's say market orders are the one who moves the market. It doesn't matter what news is happening. Now, yesterday, like you would have seen that if you're trading Nifty, yesterday there was a big gap down. Despite the big gap down, because there was a strong news was there last Friday. Fed chairman had said some aggressive statement in Jackson Hole, and because of that, entire global markets are freaking out. Indian markets also opened with a gap down. But despite that sentiment, which was extraordinarily negative, almost the gap down was a very big gap down, almost 400 points of gap down. But despite such a gap down, what happened, right? The market started recovering back, buyers started showing up. So at a very fundamental level, the buy market orders move the market up. It doesn't matter whatever the sentiment which is running on. So at times sentiment can be momentary. But what is happening in front of our screen, if I'm able to see that how the market orders are behaving, maybe my trading decisions might get better. So at a very fundamental level, buy market order moves the market up. If I am sending and sell market order, then I'm the one pushing the markets down. So it is not only about market orders alone. If you were to use the traditional order flow tools, it shows only the visualization of the market orders. But there is also another side to that, which is what the limit orders. So talking about limit orders, typically limit orders are we called as an liquidity to the exchange. So if I'm a market maker, generally market makers, you know what they will do? They will supply two-way quotes. Maybe I'll show you how the two-way quote looks like. So this is how the two-way quote looks like. Now what you're seeing on the screen is an top 20 levels from the order book. You can see that the values are ticking up and down. The example what I'm quoting is from Reliance. It had taken some couple of weeks back. So the prices keep on moving up and down, and you can see that the quotes are getting supplied over here on the left hand side. So the top 20 levels, they don't move the markets. If you're seeing the markets keep on moving up and down, so now it's keep on moving up, and then instantly it's coming down and it's going up. Now what you can see here is always the limit orders, they closely track the price action. Wherever the price action is happening, where the price is getting moved, market orders are going to move, and limit orders are going to track the market orders most of the times. And it will be waiting for the fill. They are pending orders. Now, when I started my career in 2006, I frankly said, I looked into this, and then I really thought like these are big traders, big buyers and big sellers. I can figure it out from the order flow. From the order book. But it took a long time to realize that that is wrong. They're not going to move the markets. They can control the markets, but they cannot move the markets because they are just pending limit orders. Pending limit orders, they don't have any power to move the markets, but they can control. They can build resistance. They can build a support. But however, who has the maximum control is like the one who is placing the market orders. So at any given time, both market buy orders also going to come, market sell orders are going to come. So that is what it finally gets revealed, who is moving the markets. And of course, Bookmap also provides beautiful visualization on limit orders so that you can visually in real time, you can figure out where the support and resistance are. I think going forward, more and more interesting things are likely to happen in Indian ecosystem, where more and more innovative tools are like Bookmap are entering, and then it only brings the understanding of the markets, understanding to the traders better, rather than living in assumptions. Okay, now let's quickly get back to the market makers. So the market makers are the one who supply the quotes. Okay, they are the one which is seen in the order book. Typically, most of the Indian brokers, they provide only up to 5 levels. Now, very few brokers in India, they also started providing 20 levels. Now, we can visualize the market maker, what the market maker is doing, where they are giving the quotes. So market maker generally supply the limit order. They supply the liquidity. Mostly they are passive order. As I said, they don't move the markets. They just simply provide two-way quotes. Market makers will be present on both the sides. They'll be sending liquidity on the buy side also, on the sell side also. And that is how they do business. I'm not going to go more detail into that. And the other side is the market takers. Market takers are the one who sends market orders. So if I am sending a market order, think about that. If I'm sending a market order, so probably I'm the one who's going to push the market up. If I'm sending a market sell order, I'm going to push the market to the downside. Let's say, give me a sec. Yeah. So if I'm a market maker, I'm the one who consumes liquidity. So all these market orders rest in the order book. So we need to know how the order book is getting organized. If I'm looking into the order book, right, where they're only passive orders, they don't move the markets. So limit orders are typically pending orders, waiting for the fill. They're just simply resting in the order book. Kind of an advertising mechanism. We call that as an advertising mechanism because they flashes that, hey, I'm here, I'm waiting for the fill. And mostly limit orders get matched with the market orders. Typically with the order matching, exchange will have that order matching engine. Its job is to keep on matching the orders. So always, if I'm sending a market order, the market order always get matched with the best available ask or best available bid. But limit orders, whatever you are seeing on the screen, they are not a realistic one because most of the orders lies in the limit or hidden orders. Not all the limit orders are revealed. Not necessarily it has to get revealed. Mostly if I'm placing a small quantity, I don't like to hide my quantities because my quantity is very small. But if I'm a big trader, if I'm from the institution side, if my trading size is very big, I don't want to showcase myself that I'm trading a very big quantity. So what I will do is like I will generally hide most of my orders. And exchange, almost all the exchange in the world, they provide the privilege to hide your orders. So that's kind of a privacy purpose. Exchange provides that. So 90% of the trading quantity can be hidden. So these limit orders will get revealed only if the transaction is happening exactly at that price level. Once the transaction is complete, the limit order get executed, only then the quantity gets revealed. Until then, we cannot really see the hidden orders. So I cannot really say how many hidden orders are there. I cannot, by looking into the quantity alone, I cannot say. It might show 10, maybe remaining 90 might be in the hidden state. Right? So it's very difficult to say that unless the execution happens. Once it gets executed, all the market orders will get visualized. What does the exchange reveals? Market orders totally, it's nothing but executed transactions totally get revealed. Once execution is done, then only the market order gets revealed. Limit orders, not necessarily the limit orders has to show the complete details. 90% of the quantity can be hidden. As I said, institutions usually place larger orders in a hidden mode. And at times even they slice their orders. There are a lot of execution algos are there, like VWAP algos, TWAP algos, order sweeping algos, liquidity hunting algos. So usually they'll be slicing the orders into small packets and execute at various timings. And stop loss orders. So some people had a very weird thinking like somebody is seeing my stop loss. But let me tell you something. The moment you are placing a stop loss order, let it be a stop loss market order or a stop loss limit order, exchange provides a complete protection. Nobody can see your stop loss, right? But people generally keep their stop loss at round numbers. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low. But if you're placing a stop loss, nobody can see an exchange, particularly in India. So exchange maintains a book called stop loss book, like how order book is maintained. Exchange also maintains a stop loss book. So once the trigger is done, then only it will convert into a limit order or a market order. So it's completely hidden for privacy purpose. Exchange maintains that secrecy so that, you can safely trust the exchange. Many traders, beginner level, they have that very weird thinking like, oh, somebody's seeing a stop loss, somebody's hunting a stop loss. So that is not the case here, right? So these are very basic assumptions which I also had in the past when I started trading initially. So then when it comes to data types, you need to have a fair idea about what kind of data that we've been using. So typically level 1 is the data which is used by most of the popular softwares. Even for Indian market also, at this point, we are using level 1 data only. In level 1 data, only top bid and top ask from the order book. So means this level contains the top 20 levels. So this is level 3 data. However, the level 1 shows only the top one level only, the very first level only, which is what we call as the depth of the market. And that is more than enough to plot the book map to visualize the market order. Level 2 data or level 3 data is what it is required to visualize the limit order as well. So when it comes to at this point in time, right, True Data and Bookmap they had partnered and then they integrated level 1 data. I'm sure level 2 data or level 3 data, a couple might be giving you later on some brief idea about what he is planning to do. But at this point in time, what I'm going to show you is like with level 1 data, what are the facilities that we can use in Bookmap and how to use those information and how to decode those information. Going forward, I'm sure once more and more traders are interested, they might be going for level 2 or level 3 data also. Who knows? And I think already there is some BSc level 2 data. I'm sure like a couple might be testing it out. Couple might later on give some brief idea about that. So level 1 data when it comes to Indian market is nothing but every 1 second we will be getting one. Every 1 second we'll be getting one tick data. So means I'll show you from the Bookmap screen. I'm sure you might be able to see my Bookmap screen. So this is the Bookmap screen of Nifty here. So what I can show you here is like I'll just zoom it out. It's kind of an every 1 second you can see that new information keeps coming in every 1 second once. It keeps on printing new information. So what does this means is like it prints every 1 second I'll be receiving the tick. Each and every data point is nothing but a tick. It arrives in Indian markets every 1 second once. Every 1 second, a new information keeps on happening over here. You can see that it keeps on printing newer and newer information. I can zoom it as much as I want. So Bookmap is typically a non-time based charts. So you might be watching that the green color blocks, they're nothing but the green color bubbles or green color volume dots. They're nothing but market orders. So I can visualize the market orders as the time is going by. So there's no 5-minute charts or 15-minute charts. So it's not a traditional charting style. It's kind of more of an unconventional charting style here. So where I can see where the market orders are coming in and what is the size of the order. The bigger the bubble it is, bigger the volume it is getting traded. So you can also see on the downside, you can see some volume histograms, how bigger the volume histograms are. Or you can also place your cursor and you can see whether the volumes are bigger or not. Smaller the dots, smaller the volume. Bigger the dots, bigger the volume. Right? And you can, if you zoom it out, and you can see that the charts, you can see how long you want to zoom it out. You can zoom it, and you can see the entire price action very clearly. Right? So you can zoom out the entire day and you can see the entire day's price action, also how the entire day is keep going up. I think since the morning price action has been rising, the buyers has been aggressively participating. Some of the places sellers also participated, but they've been getting absorbed. Later on we'll talk about those things, how the entire price action has been happening. This is the entire price action since the morning. But I can narrow down to the details. I can go back and look through the certain places. I can zoom it out. I can go and check how the price action went at a very minute levels. Now this is with the Indian markets. Indian markets right now they are supporting an 1 second resolution, but Bookmap is capable of doing a nanosecond resolution. If you're having a nanosecond data, so you can go up to nanosecond resolution. Means Bookmap itself built to visualize the high frequency trading activity. So yes, so that is what the Bookmap's capability is all about. And let's go back. As I said, 1 tick equal to 1 second when it comes to Indian markets. Maybe if you are using from different countries, different exchanges, if you're using level 3 data, maybe it could be a true bid and ask data also. All right. So this is what currently exchange sends to all the data vendors, including True Data as well. Now, how to read the Bookmap charts? So as I said, there are a couple of things that you need to know about here. If you are very new to order flow, or if you are very, very new to Bookmap, then I would say like the first thing is like how the price action is getting played, how I can make use of those bubbles, and whether it is hitting the bid or whether it is hitting the ask. You know, right? There are always two price. One is an bid price and then one is ask price. The buyers are the one who, if I'm placing a buy market order, I will be taking the liquidity from the seller. If I'm a sell market order, if I'm placing a sell market order, I'm going to take the liquidity from the buy market order. Now, the very same thing can be get visualized in the form of order flow. And on the extreme right-hand side, you can see that there is something called SVP, which is nothing but the session volume profile. So if in case we are using it for the very first time, I'll show you how we can get it. Like maybe you can go here. First of all, I can always go and hide the column. So I can go and add additional column if I want more and more columns. I can right click. I can go and select chart accumulated column. So CVP mostly stands for that particular screen. On the screen presence, how the volume is getting distributed over a period of time. Right, and then SVP stands for session volume profile. So session volume profile typically shows that entire day how the volume is getting distributed. So generally, if you're a volume profile trader, you have a fair idea how the volume will be getting distributed over a period of time. At any given point, you can see that this is a place where today maximum volume is getting traded over here, somewhere around 17,516 or 7,500 kind of levels. That is why the maximum volume is getting distributed for the day. All right, so which one can very clearly visualize by looking into the screen. This is a session volume profile. Mostly it talks about the screen volume profile. So there are two places we can see high volumes. So 17,500 and also around 17,575. These are the two blocks where maximum volume is getting distributed for the day. And on the downside, you can see the price action. You can visualize in the form of delta. So delta, we call it as a cumulative volume delta, CVD. You can see that the term CVD means cumulative volume delta. Now, what does it represent is like who is trying to dominate the markets? Whether aggressive seller or aggressive buyer. When I say aggressive seller or aggressive buyer, I'm always talking about market orders. So CVD itself, it's a control. You can see who is in control of the markets, whether buyers are in control or whether sellers are in control in the markets. So typically, you can see that today at the market opening, what happened is like a lot of sellers showed up. You can see that a lot of sellers are showing up. But despite that, market keeps moving up. Now, what does that means is like the seller activity, sellers are showing up. Clearly, sellers are showing up. Throughout the day, sellers are showing up. But what is actually happening here is like price keep on going on the opposite side. You might be wondering how that can happen. See, aggressive sellers are coming and keep on selling and selling and selling, and somebody is keep on observing on the other side. Entire activity is getting absorbed, And that is why there is no price reaction is not happening over here. So means the market is totally controlled. At the opening, markets are totally controlled by limit orders. Despite huge selling, despite a lot of big selling activity which has happened since the morning, lot many places you can see that the sellers came over here and sellers started pushing it down. They're not able to control. Big sellers came down, but still they're not able to push the markets to the downside. Not even the day low. In fact, the day low today happened in the very first minute. Price opened, very first minute it made the bottom and it keeps on rising up. Sellers are attempting to sell, but the liquidity in the market is very tight. So who's on the opposite to the market orders? If I am placing a big sell order, it's getting executed, means that the transaction who's on the opposite side is the buy limit order. So the buy limit order is getting more and more smarter in today's case, right? Which I'm going to show you with a couple of indicators how you can visualize those things, how the absorption is happening. So what are the locations where the absorption is happening? Right from the market opening, the sentiment has been bullish. Not even a single place. Look at that. The pink color line. What you're seeing is the VWAP. So you can always enable the VWAP by right click and you can go to the configuration, and from here you can I'm sorry, like you can go to the SPP, you can go to the configure column. Now from here you can go back and enable the show VWAP line, and if in case if you want to enable the point of control also, you can enable the point of control. Point of control will be mostly in an yellow color line, so which we'll be able to see those point of control as well. So the pink color lines are traditionally the VWAP. So I'm a very big fan of VWAP when it comes to order flow. Because order flow, there are many days when a trend day is evolving, when price action is going throughout the day, the VWAP will not get disturbed much. If it is going to be a sideways market, you can see that repeatedly VWAP will be kept on getting tested most of the times. So that is not the case right from the beginning. Still the price action is keep going up. So far there is no disturbance towards the VWAP yet. Now if I'm looking for any sort of mean reversion, then typically I'll be looking for an pullback towards VWAP. So as of now, the auction is still remaining bullish, right? So all the sellers has been totally got absorbed over here. So whatever the sellers have been doing, they got totally got absorbed over here. And now later on, what is happening? Later on, the delta is keep on increasing. So increasing delta means typically the buyers are taking control of the markets. The buyers are totally controlling of the market. So buy market orders are coming up. Liquidity is also supporting. So they are able to beat the liquidity. So price started moving up. Very good transactions are happening. So means very big transactions are happening. What does that mean is like the buyers are so far in control of the market. So morning you can see that always the CVD starts at 0. That means cumulative volume delta starts at 0, right? So every day the CVD will get reset to 0. That is what you are seeing over here. It resets to 0, and then initially some buyers started dominating. Later on, sellers are getting absorbed. Means what? Some smart limit orders, they are coming and continuously they provided supply, and then they absorb the market orders. That is what we call as an absorption. Now, when it comes to order flow, there are always only two kinds of information that we can talk about. One is initiative drive. In an initiative drive, the buyers, here in this case, the initiative drive is made by the buyers. You can see that the cumulative delta is also keep going up. CVD goes up. Price action also goes up. This is more of an initiative. Buy orders are keep on pushing the markets up, and the opposite guys sell limit orders. They are not controlling the markets. Who controlled the markets in the morning? The sellers came in, aggressive sellers came in, big selling quantity got traded, which is very much evident from the blocks, right? So you can able to see this from the big bubbles or the big volume dots that you're seeing. Delta is getting pushed down, but price is maintained sideways to mild upside. Now that is more of an absorption, as I said, right? So if you connect the context, you could be very clearly say that yes, morning passive buyers, they control the markets. And post 10:30 onwards, aggressive buyers are controlling the markets. So right from the beginning, only buyers are the one who is controlling. But morning limit orders, they control the markets, and post 10:30, buy market orders are getting controlled. Now, this kind of visualization, you can able to see it very clearly. And that too, let me show you with Maruti what is really happening. Something very interesting happening with Maruti. Like since the morning, right, there has been a crazy sweep which has been happened. You can see that very big orders are coming in right from the start. If you could see, maybe I'll zoom it out. Since the morning activity, I'll show you. So the more you zoom, the blocks will get joined, and then it becomes automatically dynamically those bubbles will get formed based upon how much time frame that you are viewing. Maybe, yeah. Since the morning, you can see that big buyers started, but then a lot of big sellers, they kept on pushing them. They try to dominate over here. Despite big sellers coming in, the price starts keep going up. So how that is possible, if you ask me, like, it's nothing but one form of an absorption only. So these are the places the sellers try to push down, but the liquidity players are coming and absorbing the entire activity. So this is more of an, it started with an initiative drive, right? And then mild absorption in between. And once again, the buyers are the one who is totally controlling the market, which is very much evident from the cumulative delta itself. So it's been keep on going like in trend day odds, where in a trend day, like traditionally, the VWAP will not remain tested. So right from the open, Maruti has been showing very aggressiveness. In fact, if you want to see how much aggressive they are, what are the places the traders are aggressive, you can always go back to the add-on. So you can go and go to the configure add-ons. I think this absorption indicator, sweep indicator are available in the global plus package. So you have to go back and let me add the sweep indicators. So sweep indicators, I can go and say like within 2.5, I'm going to say like if at all there is going to be some, I'll disable the mode, and then I'll say like if at all suddenly if I'm seeing like some 5,000 lots of activity, suddenly a big price action is happening. This 5,000 shares of activity getting transacted within 2.5. I just want to visualize where that such kind of transaction is happening. So it's more of an, it shows where the aggressive price action is getting formed. Right? If in case if at all anything is there, I'll be able to see it over here. So this is Maruti, right? So I'll go and configure it. So I have to configure like maybe I'll make it like 1,000 shares. So I'll be able to see where the aggressive price action is getting happening over there. So where the aggressive players are coming and pushing it out. So here you can see that who is getting more aggressive, you'll be able to see it on the buy side. So what is the quantity they've been aggressive? Within 2.5 seconds, that is 35,100 shares are getting transacted over here, which is comparatively very aggressive compared to the sell side. So sell side it is happening, but price is not willing to come down. That is traditionally, if you look through the absorption indicator, you'll be able to see it in the form of absorption. So you can see how aggressive the traders are getting formed. What is the size of the quantity they've been moving up? Whether they are moving up or they're moving down, you'll be able to see it in the form of visualization. So you can go back to a certain level, and then you can narrow it down. And at a very granular level, we can go back and check this out. You can see that the dots, so those shows that how aggressive the buyers are, and the pink color dots which shows how aggressive the sellers are, and what is the size of the quantity. And wherever the rule matches, it just simply it tracks those activity. So it tracks those high momentum activity, which pushes the price in a greater manner. And of course, we can go and play with various configuration. Maybe if you want, this is more of a relative term. If in case if you are not very sure about it, you can leave it to an automatic mode, right, where you can go and change the SD interval and minutes, like what kind of minutes that you want to accumulate, and then how you want to visualize those things. It automatically comes with an optimal volume activity. If in case if you are not very sure about that, but if you are having a very good screen time, yes, over a period of time you will figure it out. Okay, so if something like Nifty, Maybe I'll go to Nifty and then I'll go and configure with an configure. I'll go and say like I'm going to use an sweep indicator. I just want to know where are the sweeps are within 2.5 seconds. If there is any 5,000 shares are getting transacted, I just want to visualize those things. So one can go back and visualize how aggressive the price actions are. More aggressive price action that you're going to see, more aggressive dots, it will be keep coming up over here. Right, so these are the places you can see like aggressive, very aggressive dots are coming up. So maybe I'll try to zoom it out. I think the 3-4 dots, the more the dots, it's coming in over here. So this is one location and very solid aggressiveness has been there. Like almost 47,000 lots has been, 47,900 lots has been got traded. I'm sorry, 47,900 shares has been got traded. And the exact opposite to the sweep indicator is the absorption indicator. Let me tell you how the absorption indicator works. It shows where the price is not getting moved, but still, despite selling, the market started reversion. Mostly, it looks for a mean reversion points. So I'll disable the sweep indicator. I'll go to the absorption indicator. Like how sweep indicator is having a couple of settings. So similar settings are available for absorption indicator also. Absorption indicator shows where the limit order traders are smart. So sweep indicator shows where the market orders are smart. Mostly for breakout trading, it will be very much helpful. Whereas when it comes to absorption indicator, it is more of a place where the activity is getting absorbed, whether buying activity is getting absorbed or selling activity is getting absorbed. So those information will be able to see it very clearly. So here, similar way, if at all, you can see that if the sellers are getting absorbed, you'll be able to see more and more pink color absorption is happening over here. The pink color absorptions are nothing but what? So you'll be able to see it in the form of something like this. So here in this case, you could sense that. Let it. I think maybe I'm here. You can see that the more and more sellers are getting passively absorbed in this location. So a lot of selling activity is getting absorbed in this location. That is what the absorption indicator shows over here. The more bigger the absorption it is, bigger the quantity is also you're gonna see it over there, right? And moreover, what is primarily important here is like try to if you're a beginner in Bookmap, or if you're very new to the concept of order flow, it's highly recommended to go through some of the very basics of market microstructure, like so that will be definitely guide you to understand how the flow of order works, what kind of traders will be coming and playing in the markets when the market opens until the market end. What are the kinds of traders we've been competing with? I'm going to give a recommendation of one of the book. It's a very important book. It's on trading and exchanges. The trading and exchanges is a very interesting book on market microstructure. So this is mostly for the traders who want to get a general idea about how the exchange works. So because we might be under an assumption like this is bearish, this information is bullish, and basic indicators. So more than that, if you are having a better idea about market microstructure, I can tell you like you can have a very fair idea about how the structure is looking like. Should I have to take an immediate shot? So since the morning, I'm just maintaining a tone like maybe yes, the market is bullish. At least we should not be shorting the markets. If at all we've been shorting the markets, we may have to look for certain trading opportunities. But flow of the markets throughout the day, the volume flow has been running good and positive. A lot of big players has been coming and controlling. As I said, morning the smart limit orders has been controlling the market. Second half, market orders buy market orders has been keep on controlling the markets. Now, if you want to sense those kind of information, like if you want to get a very good idea about what is the liquidity is all about, how market makers they play in the markets, and how institutions they do big transactions, how order slicing will be done, how HFT play the games. So if you want to know the in and out of the trading world, actually, if you want to have a real understanding about the markets, then Trading and Exchanges is one book that you cannot ignore. And talking about the traditional order flow versus Bookmap, I would say Bookmap shows executed market orders in the form of bubbles or volume dots, and pending limit orders in the form of heat map. I think once the level 2 or level 3, we've been moving towards level 2 or level 3, you will start seeing those heat map, which shows the visualization of limit order as well. And right now, I think Bookmap, right now, you can go and test it directly for cryptos. For cryptos, you can easily go back and study it. And the visualization itself are done via bubbles and heat maps when it comes to Bookmaps. Whereas in a traditional order flow charts or footprint charts, it shows only executed market orders only. It doesn't show any visualization of those orders. And even those visualization also done inside the candlesticks. Now here, even in Bookmap also, if you want to visualize on top of the candlesticks, there is a provision to do that. So one can go to the Bookmap. Now from the Bookmap, so I'll disable the activity here. And if you want to enable the candles, so you can go back, you can go to the settings, study configuration. From here, you can go back and enable the candlesticks. However, this is for the beginners. If you are a little bit more advanced, maybe candlestick may not be an a requirement for you, right? So the more you've been focusing on the internal market structure, lesser you'll be staying away from candlestick. Candlesticks is for the people who are very new to the flow or who already get equipped with candlestick. So when I'm trading with order flow information, I prefer not to use candlesticks. So I would most likely to go with the natural way of looking into the Bookmap. So, but if you are a beginner and if you are feeling like for the first time, if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and then you want to get a hang out of it for some time, yes, one can definitely make use of those candlesticks as well. Let's have a quick check on what BankNifty is doing. BankNifty is also more or less, it's been trading in the similar way what Nifty is doing, but BankNifty was like a little bit sideways today. So this, by looking into this order flow, right, you can look for a very microscopic information, like how, for example, this particular place, how aggressively the traders has been pushing it down. What really happened around those levels? You can see that the big sellers are pushing down. Really, the cumulative delta is also pushing down. So if you are having a very fair idea about what the volume profile activity is all about, you can you can aim for very, very short-term targets. Probably the holding period, if in case, I would say, like if you are using Bookmap, traditionally the you can attempt like within something like in 5 minutes to 15 minutes of trades, or even the trades can last for a couple of seconds, because since we've been dealing with tick level charts, right, the trade can go as good as like couple of seconds, maybe something like even some 10-15 seconds, or anything little more than that, like 2 minutes to 5 minutes kind of time frame. So it's mostly for very, very short-term scalpers. Of course, somewhere there should be an screen time observation. If you are practicing for the very first time, you have to go through the screen time process. So means you need to know how to observe the markets, because every day the markets are going to do something different. Whichever the side the market moves, like it always throws opportunity at some point in time. So if you're a beginner, first thing you have to learn is like where the absorption is happening, where the smart money is coming and trading. So are there limit orders are getting controlled? Limit orders are controlling the markets, or market orders are aggressive market orders are moving the markets. So I'm sure these are very basic things that you can learn in today's session. Maybe going forward, we can bring more and more interesting concepts. I'm sure Bookmap is not limited only to this. Bookmap does a lot of things. In fact, Bookmap, they had built beautiful visualization on iceberg trackers, stop order hunting. Right? So for everything, there should be a starting process. That is the market microstructure here. I'm sure Bookmap is a very interesting tool. You might agree with me once you start using Bookmap. Let me know if you have any questions. We can take a couple of questions here.
Okay, so let's see. There's in Discord. No, just a question about CBD and offering or filtering for larger traders, larger players, and there is functionality in there in the CBD. And you can put in multiple lines as well. So everybody in, I'll copy and paste it also into YouTube here. If you'd like to demo it, you can do so, Regengen, but I can also demo it during the Bookmap advanced webinar or a training webinar at 10 a.m.
There are two questions, Bruce, on YouTube.
Okay.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So first question is, what is the best time frame for using Bookmap? Can you answer that?
As I said, Bookmap doesn't come with any standard time frames. Like it's more of an tick level charts, and then yes, you can if you are looking for a very short term information, you can you can go to that appropriate level and then zoom it. Always you're going to look into the complete data set. You're going to look through that. But the thing is, like, more you compress, it's look like it's as good as like looking into a higher time frame. The more you're narrowing down, as good as like you're moving towards and low. You're just looking into the very microscopic information. Now, I'm sure like you can also reduce. I'll reduce the heat map over here so that it'll be very easy to look through the information.
All right.
Right. So ideally, I would say like Bookmap is not connected to like 5 minutes time frame or 15-minute time frame. So it depends upon what kind of trader you are. Let's say if I am a microscopic trader, like I'm going to trade like for a couple of seconds, then I'm more interested in what is the nearest swing which is trying to do in the markets. Is there any meaningful information? So where is there any buyers are getting trapped or any sellers are getting trapped? So is there any absorption is happening at that microscopic level? So can I look for any very quick short-term trades? So that is what I will be primarily looking out for. So if I'm slightly, and let's say I want to deal with some 5 minutes or 15 minutes, so maybe I'll zoom it out and then I might look for even more bigger structures. Right. So, but definitely one should have a top-down analysis view, like what is the overall structure is going on, and within that structure, like what kind of opportunity which is coming in. Let's say when that previous swing high is getting neared, when how the price is responding to that. So that will give you an better idea about. So when that level is once again it is released, is it an absorption or is it an who is trying to control in the markets? Am I seeing any delta divergence over here? Sometimes the delta divergence might giving an meaningful opportunity over here. For example, the prices keep going up, whereas the CVD is keep going down. So that's kind of a divergence. Maybe there we can look for an turning points. If you are seeing that CVD is going down, but the price is making swing highs, that's kind of a divergence. Divergence and hidden divergence kind of stuff. You can try to use it in this kind of cases where you can look for a very short-term corrections in the markets, because that is what it's happening. And very classically, we can see that this one place, we can see that very sharp drop is happening. So that is more of an aggressive traders are coming and punching orders with a very reasonable amount of quantity, like kind of a sweep is happening out there. Does that explain?
Yes. Thanks, Rajendran. Yeah. There is one more question for us, and that is, can you suggest
any
any
other
book?
questions, Urvashi?
Yeah. Yes, there is one more question. The question is, can you suggest any book for market profile?
I would say like the very first thing. So I would like to give some of the guidelines over here, if in case if you are using for a Bookmap for the first time. Definitely, one should get some basics. At least some basics about market microstructure is enough. You don't need to read the complete book, but at least how the order flow happens. Like for example, some basic idea is always enough. At the opening of the markets, the flow of the orders will be very high because a lot of intraday traders will be entering into the markets. And at the closing, most of the time, volume flow will be very high because most of the time around the market closing, a lot of institutional traders, particularly mutual funds, will be coming in purchasing. Institutional activity will be very high around the closing, and not only institutional activity from the brokers. At times, broker will be squaring off the positions. So those places also will be finding more order flow over there. So traditionally, during the middle of the day, the volume will be getting trade up most of the time. So these kind of some very basic understanding will help you how the market structure could evolve for the day. Yes, it is going to be a little bit of screen time is required to understand this kind of information, but somewhere there should be a starting point to know what is truly happening at the market.
Great. Thanks, Rajendran. We have one more question. I think I would direct this question to Kapil. Kapil, can you hear me? Kapil, can you unmute yourself? There is one question for us in terms of the data. So, when is level 2 data coming? When will it be added to Bookmap? Can you answer that question for us, Kapil? Kapil, you're still muted. Bruce, can you help in unmuting Kapil?
Yes, I'll try here. Kapil, I think you'll have to do this yourself, actually. It's in the lower left-hand corner of Discord. You'll see the microphone, and then just hit that. You're probably muted there.
Yeah, hi.
There you are. We can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some questions about Nifty spot volume. Actually, we have been mulling over this for some time. But the point is that the other vendors, what they've done is they just aggregated the volume, which is actually not the correct thing to do. Wherein if you just aggregate the Nifty 50 volume, it is that the weightage is not being considered for the Nifty. It gives an inaccurate picture of the Nifty. However, getting the different weightages, there is a index called a Nifty, no weight. Then there's no weight is considered. So it is easy to do this collating, just total it and give it to you. But we were trying to, not do that and try and give you the exact weights. But it is becoming a little challenging, and that's why this time is taken. So we have considered, and we are going to at least start aggregating it. And so you'll get the total aggregated volume soon. That would be available even with Bookmap in the near future. With regards to question about BSC level 2 and further going on to level 3 data, BSC provides level 2 data. As we've going with BSC, we've already started providing BSC for charts and AMI broker and Excel, etc. However, that is level 1. We are working on the level 2 coding part, and the same is likely to be completed within the next couple of weeks, after which it will be integrated with Bookmap also, which could take us a little more time. So we are getting there. We have already launched BSC for level 1, but for the normal markets, it will come here soon. So this, so that's it over here.
Okay.
So it needs a lot of memory. I am not sure, 8 GB RAM and 256 GB. Bruce, could you help here? Harjap Gill is asking that it needs a lot of memory, and he's got 8 GB RAM. That should be sufficient for running Bookmap. Am I right?
Yeah, that's, I mean, 256. That's plenty. I mean, that's amazing in terms of RAM. I will put the link to the knowledge base in Bookmap that gives the there's levels of different specs or recommendations. So let me find that link, and I'll paste it in. It starts with basics, or like the kind of lowest bar, and then kind of middle, and then for high-end users as well. Yeah, I've got it here. I'll put it into the chat, the system and requirements.
Sure. So have a look at that, Harjap, and I hope that helps you. Normally, we haven't found any much issue. If you have a good, decent PC, it should not happen. Please check other things in your PC also and see what all you're running and what all is consuming memory. Normally, it doesn't tax your system so much, and it is pretty easy to run Bookmap with today's systems which we have. Yeah, of course, disk, there is tick data. So if you've enabled, saving the tick data at your end, I would suggest, you try not doing that because this history is available for the important symbols. So you could, uh, avoid saving that data if you're doing that and try. If you do that, I'm sure your issue may be solved, as I understand. So try that and let us know how it works for you. Yeah, Purna, I get it. We are going for the cumulative spot volume. Because I know TradingView and investing and all have started. So we were just trying to, do the best thing possible, but it's really difficult to get that correct volume, updated with every tick. So cumulative or spot volume is not so difficult, and we will be giving it to you soon. So don't worry about that. So that's coming. So it will come with once we launch with BSC, we'll put this also. Already we are working on adding cumulative spot volume. We'll see later on if we could also do the weightage. That would be good.
Okay.
Order flow add-on for Bookmap. Bruce, could you help me with this? What Vicky is asking?
Yeah.
I'm not aware.
Yeah, sure. In fact, Urvashi, maybe I'll hand it over to you and you can kind of go through some of the details in here, if you like.
Yes. So, Vicky, with regards to your question about order
So
flow
Vicky is
add-on.
asking if there's an order flow add-on for Bookmap, which is
Yes.
coming.
Can you hear me?
I am not sure if there's any other order flow add-on which you've got here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce.
But can you hear me, Bruce?
Yes, I can hear you, Urvashi.
Right. So I'll just give you a quick update about the order flow add-on. So we are in talks with the vendor for the Indian market. So our team, the tech team, is actually doing the due diligence at the moment. So it'll take some more time till we actually launch it for the Indian market. So yeah, that's the update right there. We have a couple of other questions actually on YouTube as well, so I'll just read them out for you. This question I'll direct it to Rajendran. What is the ideal absorption and sweep setting for Nifty and BankNifty? Means we can set alert on the quantity traded. Rajendra, can you help us answer this question?
So I would say like it is more of a relative term, and something like for Nifty and Bank Nifty, if it is something like if you are using it more or less for whatever applicable for Nifty, the same numbers will be applicable for Bank Nifty as well. The reason is more or less the volume flow is very much similar with Nifty and Bank Nifty most of the times. So I prefer using something like 5,000 for within 2.5 seconds. However, you can go with an if you are a very beginner, you can go with an experimentation mode. Something like you can try with like automatic mode. But if in case we are using automatic mode, you should try to control the SD interval and SD multiplier. I think Bruce might give more more insights on that. Bruce.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So, I mean, basically, what I've found is you need to just play around with it on the zoom level or potentially like the day or the instrument. This is why, as you had covered, Rajendran, the automatic mode is really great because it will take the standard deviation of a time interval from the market. So no matter what condition the market is in, you will be able to kind of look at something that should be in line. So maybe start there with automatic mode, and then if you don't like it and you want to adjust it, then deselect the automatic mode and like try it now, Rajendran, and you'll see that the 5,000 up there will turn into something else. So turn it on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then select it, and now see how it jumped up to 55.48.
It looks like it is more of a relative term based on the last 30 minutes of price action, like and the last 30 minutes of volume activity. So it takes a standard deviation and it is applying to that.
That's correct. So this is a way to kind of fine tune it a little bit. Now, if you don't see much on the screen right now, we'll take the standard deviation multiplier down a little bit. So yeah,
something
so
like,
yeah, bring it down to like yeah, something like that. Now look at the screen. Take away the window there so we can see the screen.
so once.
Yeah, so you didn't get too many readings out of it. If you zoom out, maybe you get more.
Just trying to zoom. You want me to zoom out, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean just to get some data in there, and we can take a look.
Yes.
Yeah. So if this is what you're kind of looking at, and this gives you some insight, this is the time frame that you're trading, then this would be a good setting for you. If you're looking at more granular levels, then you would probably want to reduce the standard deviation multiplier.
I'll now further reduce.
I'll
do like something like 5 point, something like 6, something.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like.
So it will go and look like a very granular level.
Yeah, exactly. So the answer, the short answer, it depends.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of other questions. I'll just read them out for you. Is there any documentation available as a user guide with the pictorial representation for Bookmap? How to get it?
I'm sure there is a wonderful Wikipedia complete study is available there. Like if you go to like I would say like go for Bookmap knowledge base, and you should get some interesting knowledge base. It's a good point. It's a good starting point to start here, and it connects you to the various locations, indicators, and different blocks, building blocks, map, and thing which connect to right from the data feed, FAQs, and that.
Okay, thanks Rajendra. And the next question is, can we use Bookmap over Android mobile phones?
I don't think so. Like,
yeah, so Sachin, to answer your question, you can't. Right now it's available only on desktop or web version. Yeah. Okay. When can we get option chart in Bookmap? Kapil, do you want to answer that? Kapil, are you there? Okay, I'll answer this question. So right now we are figuring things out in the Indian market, like how we can actually integrate Bookmap with options. So it's there in our product roadmap for now. So as and when we have a concrete update, we'll keep you all informed about it. Moving on to the last question. What is the significance of tick size 5 versus 0.05? Rajendran, this question is for you.
See, it depends upon which instrument you're trading. So if in case, let's say for Indian trading instrument, then definitely one should go with an 0.05 only, 5 paise tick size. Means every 5 paise the bubble will get generated. Maybe if you're going for a bigger one, the size of the bubbles itself will form every 0.5 only. So I would say like you go with the standard 0.05 itself. But if in case structure will not change, but you will get more microscopic information. If you're looking for more microscopic information, then ideal size of 0.05 is what it is generally required for a basic granularity. Something like USDNR, if in case we are going, like it depends upon instrument to instrument. Generally, mostly for NSE, it's going to be mostly 0.05. Sometimes if you're going like currency derivatives, and if you're going for USDNR, then the tick size will be like 0.0025. That is the minimum price action movement which is possible. So it's recommended to go with a default tick size itself.
All right, great. I think we've answered all questions. Bruce, over to you.
Okay. Well, Urvashi, first off, just thank you very much, Rajendran. This is a really good overview of Bookmap and also an understanding of a microstructure and granularity and how important it is to understand that. I love the comment in the very beginning of how traders have different very different views on an understanding of what exactly that is. And it's not rocket science here. It's actually very, very simple and straightforward stuff. So thank you for your presentation. Very happy to be working with you. And Capel as well from True Data and providing the data behind here that runs on Bookmap and bringing you the Indian markets. Just wanted to go over a few more details on Bookmap and where you can find it, more information, how to get started, what are the differences in the different versions here. I put the link into the chat. Maybe do you want to explain anything more, Urvashi?
Yes. So can you share your screen, Bruce? Can you open bookmap.truedata.in?
Yeah, it should be, you should see it there.
Yeah, now I can. Thank you for that. Traders who have recently joined Bookmap India and don't know, if we have any offering in the Indian market. So, to answer your question, yes, we do have. We've partnered with True Data in India, and this is the website that talks about like what exactly we offer in the Indian market. So, if you scroll down, Bruce, can you just scroll down? Can you scroll down a bit more?
Where would you like me to go?
Um, so I would like you to just, go to, yeah, just to the pricing and packages.
Okay.
Yes. So for the Indian market, we have four packages, right? So we have lifetime free. No, just like scroll up.
There might
Yeah.
be a little bit of a delay.
Yes, there is a bit of a delay. Right. So yes, just yes, stand there, please. Yes, so we have four packages in the Indian market. We have lifetime free package, then Bookmap India Basic, Bookmap India Pro, and then the data pack for the existing Bookmap users. So people who have attended this webinar, so I think Rajendran was talking about the sweeps and absorption indicators. So you will get access to those indicators with the Bookmap India Pro version, and you'll also get access to a couple of interesting other advanced add-ons also with Bookmap India Pro version. So if you have any questions with regards to this particular package or the other packages that we have, so feel free to ask questions in the Bookmap India Discord channel. So that's one point that I wanted to cover. And we also have the setups and strategies related videos in our YouTube channel. So I'll post that in some time in Discord, so you can go through how to set up all these advanced add-ons in the Indian markets context, right? Now, Bruce, can you go back to Discord, because I just want to quickly cover what we have been doing thus far. Right. So can you go to the text channel of Bookmap India? I think that's open. Right. Okay. All right. So now we have a couple of new users who have recently joined Bookmap India and are very new to the idea of Discord. So I'll just quickly wrap it up for you. What exactly do you get over here in Discord? So this is a platform that we have created specifically for the Indian traders when it comes to the Bookmap India channel. This is also a platform wherein you can access not just the Indian market but also the global market. So we have a couple of different channels wherein people are talking about stocks, futures, crypto, right? So all of that is there, so you can feel free to like go through all of these channels. We have special events almost every day lined up, so that's also there under the events channel. Then we have educators based in the US who are covering US based stocks and futures. Now going back to Bookmap India, Bruce, can you scroll up like in the channel, scroll up in the Bookmap India text channel? Yes. Yes, scroll a bit more up. Yes. So now, under the Bookmap India text channel, we have created certain sub threads. So it's not visible to everyone. So what I would suggest is, we'll post it again for you guys. So just have a look. So if you need to, participate in these kind of threads, you need to click on the particular thread and then, write something. So now, for example, daily setups and strategies thread. So we have a couple of traders in the Indian market who are sharing their insights on a daily basis, so it can be very very useful for traders who are very new to the idea of Bookmap. Then yeah, so so people who don't have any idea about Bookmap or want to understand how to set it up on a daily basis can use this particular thread, and you can see there is daily engagement that's happening, so which is great. And we're very active on Discord, so anytime you have any question, feel free to ask them, and we'll answer all your questions. Right. Great, Bruce. So can you go back again? Okay, now we have beginners thread as well. So following after this webinar, if you have any question like how to get started, so feel free to use the beginners thread. That would be helpful for you. If you have any support related queries, we have a support guy who can help you out with that. Daily setups and strategies I just explained. Weekly polls is something that we have recently come up with, wherein we ask for insights from users, like what exactly do they want to see, what sort of content do they want to see. So we listen to all of you. If you have any suggestions, feel free to suggest them to us. We are very open to feedback. And then I think the last thing is just about webinar registration. So this is what I wanted to convey in the last 2 or 3 minutes. I think I have conveyed what I wanted to. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Bruce.
Okay, let's. I think that's it then. And just wanted again thank Rajendran very much for this presentation, and Kapil as well from True Data. So we have a really great trader here. We have a great partner, and we feel we have also a really great platform that can offer you an edge and insight that is very difficult to find from other platforms. Yeah, if Rajendran, do you have any other parting words, or maybe Kapil?
Yeah, I just want to thank Rajendran for this lovely start to this education series, and helping people understand the integrities of the Indian markets, and how to go about using Bookmap effectively for everybody. Thank you, Rajendran.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you everybody, and we'll do it again soon, and look for more of these in the near future. Okay, thank you all, and we will catch up next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.